Okay, so I'm back. Apparently, you can only record 10 minutes per recording. So we left off with conductive deafness. The eardrum could get punctured, and then your bones can't vibrate. So that's why from the previous video, I told you not to stick Q-tips in your ears. You could puncture your eardrum. There's a video that I have from a woman who unfortunately was in a relationship with her husband who was an abusive man, and she was beaten on her head and it punctured her ear, and she wasn't able to hear after the abuse. So she needed what we call a cochlear implant to be able to hear again. So with conductive deafness, we can also repair it with hearing aids. But cochlear implants are very different from hearing aids. And hearing aids amplify frequency. People are really, really sensitive to loud sounds, so compressing the sounds are key. So I'm going to show you a video of a girl who was born without the ability to hear, and she received a cochlear implant, and it's going to show you exactly what she hears. So it's really neat to see from the person's perspective exactly what they hear, because unfortunately they don't still hear what we all hear with clear abilities. So let's take a look at her.
Imagine a world without sound. A place with no noise at all. This is how the world sounds to thousands of people who are hearing impaired. Leah Demeter was born into this world of silence. Her mother remembers that day.
At the hospital, the day she was born, my husband was holding her and he said, "I don't think she hears." I thought he was being silly and overprotective and over-checking everything. It turned out that he was right.
Leah was diagnosed with profound hearing loss, but at the age of 9, she received a cochlear implant, a device that, for some people, can restore partial hearing. Unlike a hearing aid, part of this device is surgically implanted. All sounds are vibrations that pass along energy in the form of traveling waves. For Leah, sound waves are picked up by a microphone positioned above the ear. The waves are sent to a processor where they get coded into electronic signals. The signals travel to an antenna that transmits them through the skin to an internal receiver. From there, they move along tiny wires to the nerve cells in the cochlea, and from the cochlea, messages are sent to the brain.
Okay. Do you hear anything now?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to make it louder. Tell me when you first hear something.
Since Leah was deaf from birth, she works with an audiologist to understand what she hears. Over time, she learns the meaning of sounds. The technology was developed more than 25 years ago, but it still doesn't recreate sounds quite like we know them. This is what Leah hears as she rides her horse.
Leah still is a hearing impaired child, and she still does not hear normal. She rides a horse, and she rode before the implant, and she rides now. And but now, when her trainer needs to talk to her, she can hear her trainer calling her.
Trot.
Cochlear implants have enriched the lives of thousands of people like Leah.
Every day there's a new sound that she wants to know, what is that? Every day. I would say for our family and for Leah, this technology has given her an incredible tool to improve her life with, to help her feel more connected with the world. She's gotten more self-confidence from it. It's an incredible gift to be able to give to your child.
I love it.
So a really cool story. We're going to go back to what sensory neural hearing loss is, and just a friendly reminder to not use the Q-tips like that. All right, so sensory neural hearing loss is nerve deafness of the hair cells, and this is caused by loud noises, age, and genetics. And again, here's cochlear implants could be helpful, but they are really expensive. Sensory neural hearing loss can be caused from listening to your headphones too loud. It could be caused from old age. If I was in class with you right now, I'd probably ask you all to raise your hands and tell me how many of your grandparents have hearing aids. I have a really funny story about my grandpa. He was in Costco with my mom one day, and they were walking around, and you know how they have the little kiosks where you can, get samples and things. There was a woman with hearing aids, and my papa, entertained her and went up to her, and she somehow snuck the hearing aid in his ear. And then she said, well, let's go walk around and see if we can find your daughter. And when they started walking around, he was so shocked. He started hearing all these things he's never heard before. It sounded a little different, but he's had hearing aids ever since. And when I give him a hug and you get really close to his ear, they start to, make a really squeaky noise. But he used to always turn the TV so loud, so we're very thankful that he has gotten the hearing aids. Moving on to more examples of the ear. I have this video called Can You Trust Your Ears?
Many of us have become quick to catch illusions. That trick our eyes, but how often do you consider illusions of the ear? Are you really able to trust your ears and the things they hear? For example, listen to Greg speaking.
Bar, 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 bar.
What do you hear? If you heard bar, 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 you'd be right. But how about now?
Bar, 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 bar.
Chances are you heard far, far, far this time with an F, except you didn't. In fact, the audio didn't even change between the two videos.
Bar, bar, bar.
Strange as it may seem, what you hear depends on which video you're looking at. Go ahead, take turns watching each video and see how the sound morphs.
Bar, bar, bar.
This is a perfect example of something called the McGurk effect, which shows how our visuals can alter what we
switch your
believe we're
eyes.
hearing. Now I want you to count how many times you see a circle flash on screen. Let's do that one more time. Did you see it flash twice? Many people do, yet without the sound, it becomes clear that the circle is only flashing once. In this case, the sound has altered your perceived vision. The next one works best with other people around. I'll play two tones and you tell me if they're ascending or descending. In other words, are the notes played from low to high or high to low? Listen to this. Which was it? How about this one? Write down what you heard for each number and let us know in the comments. Chances are, if you compare with enough people, you'll all have different answers. Surprising? Try some more. And this one. How is it possible that you're hearing something different from others? It's an auditory illusion called the tritone paradox. It's created in such a way that the tones contain both a higher and lower frequency in them, but our brains have a preference of which to listen to. Diana Deutsch, the creator of this illusion, found that your geography and language from infancy all play a role in deciding this preference. Finally, listen to this audio clip of a gradually climbing tune. And yet, if I play the exact same clip back to you, it will sound like it's only continuing to climb higher and higher. I swear this is the exact same clip I just played. You can rewind that section of this video over and over and check for yourself. Try it. Each time you start it over, the tune is seemingly climbing even higher. It's called the Shepard tone illusion, of which there are many variations. In it, multiple sine waves are played on top of one another, raising in pitch, while one quickly drops down an octave as the others continue rising. But our brain doesn't notice this drop, and so the clips sound like they're rising forever. These illusions may help to explain how something like music can have such a profound yet varying effect on our minds, which we discuss in our New ASAP Thought episode here, along with the question of whether or not music can save your life. There's a link in the description to watch it. So, do you still trust your ears? Got a burning question you want answered? Ask it in the comments or on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want the inside
All right, so what I'd like